Okay. Let's get this over with.
Yeah.
Hello, world. Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
Still using our temporary space. It's very lovely, though. It's very nice. Thank you for providing this space, John. So today we're here to talk about Morbius, Living Vampire. This is a movie that was supposed to come out 2 years ago. I think we first heard about it 3 years ago. Got delayed and we see the effects of those delays in this final product. It is going to win the weekend for Sony, so, I guess they got what they wanted.
I put a comment under Shade Room, like, this is why Sony keeps making these horrible films.
Yeah, we're going to get right into it. I'm not going to say a word yet. I'll let you go ahead. Just tell us everything. Likes, dislikes, overall feeling.
I always start with likes. And the only thing that I can say that I actually truly liked was the way Morbius looked. They did a decent job. A little too animated, but they did a very decent job of like what it would look like in live action. I was like, cool. I can deal with this. I think that's where it ends, and this is like, gosh, it didn't even special effects weren't even great. It's like, at least with Sony, I can say with Venom, especially the first one, I actually liked the CG. They just seemed like they did not take a lot of time. This is going to be the most dreary, just sad review that you probably watch from us because it's kind of disappointing. And I would say that all the really horrible reviews it's got over the weekend was not a driving factor of how I feel right now. It's because it just wasn't good. And I'll talk about the things that really stood out to me that I just didn't like. The writing was just boring. It was so boring. It didn't do anything for me. Him discovering his powers. Maybe that is a okay. That's an okay. That's not a like nor a dislike. That's an okay. Okay, cool. We're getting some. Yeah, this one is just, again, disappointing. I'm so disappointed at how boring, how bad. The first scene when we see water trickling down into a freaking cave, I'm like, why does that water look so bad? Y'all couldn't get water right?
He did say that. He said that immediately.
I was like, oh my gosh, what are we about to see? And then everything else, the blurriness of the colors that the person's wearing when they're, if this is a spoiler review, there is another, what do you call Morbius, a vampire?
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's a spoiler, but
yeah, so there's another vampire in the film, and whatever color they wear, when they move really fast and then slow motion and horrible CG slow motion and catch bullets and all that, their colors follow them because that makes sense. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Just because it made the weekend, guys, does not make it a good movie. And we got to stop basing movies off of how much they sell, because you have to go see the movie to know that it's bad. So how about we try next weekend? If it does well next weekend, maybe us and every other reviewer just doesn't know what they're talking about. And then the general public just likes bad movies.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
This might be a first on Small Couch Reviews. I'm going to disagree with Jovi a little bit here. I'm going to disagree with you. First off, you got two major things wrong. You said this movie was disappointing.
Yeah.
It wasn't disappointing to me because I didn't have any expectations. I nothing this movie, so I wasn't disappointed. You can't be disappointed when you have, when there's nothing to be disappointed in. And the thing you said was best about this movie, you also got wrong. The best part about this movie was that it ended in under 2 hours.
I will give you that one.
So here's the
that was nice.
There are a lot of people who just trashed this movie, and I'm gonna do the same thing. But I have a huge problem with this movie, and that is that if you trash this movie, but you liked the Venom movies, I have no idea what's wrong with you. I said, like, the CG in this movie, I'm going to disagree with you. I think it's just as good as Venom Let There Be Carnage and the first Venom.
Oh, well, Let There Be Carnage was horrible.
When Venom first came out and they showed Eddie Brock's face turning into it,
yeah.
I saw meme after meme after meme of like, what is this? Is this Spawn from the 90s? Look at how he looks. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, all right, if that's what you're going to say about it, fine. Michael Morbius' CG was no worse than Venom, in my opinion. This story was no worse than Venom Let There Be Carnage. Let me tell you, I mean, when it first started, but here's the thing, I didn't hear this hate for Venom Let There Be Carnage.
I don't know, people loved it.
But, I don't know, people loved it. People were like, they thought it was okay.
Right, people
are saying they hate this movie. And I don't understand that. I think they are the same to me. They are the same movie. Which I hated Let There Be Carnage.
I didn't even, this is such a, I have to cut you off, and I feel so, this is not our traditional review, because we even talk about the actors and the actresses. It's like, Jared Leto, I think, is a great actor, but he keeps getting put in this trick bag. For, the last, how many movies has he got put in the trick bag?
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
It's just, you've been given something, and then it's, even if you're good, you can't make that. You can't make a bad script.
So the thing is, I was gonna get to that. So Jared Leto's Morbius could have been played by anyone else that wasn't Jared Leto, and done fine. Jared Leto wasn't bad in this movie.
He doesn't have an accent. That bothers me.
He had an accent. Where I was first introduced to Morbius, probably like Jovi was, and a lot of people who grew up with us. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The animated series where he had a very thick accent.
Yeah.
This one he doesn't. I didn't really understand. The other vampire.
The other vampire has an accent.
Yeah, he's British. He's played by Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor in Doctor Who. The best Doctor. Yes, I said it. He is better than David Tennant's 10th. He is better than Tom Baker's 4th. I will defend it. I am ready for the smoke. Moving on. He was probably was my favorite, I guess, character in this movie. Just because he made me laugh. He put energy into the role.
He ran in slow motion 14 times.
Yeah. So, we talked about the CG. I'm not going to get it. So the CG is like Venom CG. If you hated it in Venom, you hate it here. If you love it in Venom, you love it here. So basically, if you like Venom Let There Be Carnage, you should like this movie. Don't let these reviews fool you. That's all I'm going to say. I don't understand the hate for this and the love for Venom. Like, that was sitting in my mind. But we haven't even talked about what this movie's about.
We did.
So Michael Morbius is they go through the beginning of just showing you just how smart he is. Mm-hmm. He's so smart. He and his friend Milo, they have the same rare blood disorder, and they're put in this hospital with their children. And Michael Morbius shows that he's brilliant, so he gets sent to New York to be a doctor or whatever. The other movie, that was actually a flashback after the movie had flashed forward. So then it flash forwards again to, I guess, the present. Mm-hmm. And Michael Morbius is, he's a genius. He's developed synthetic blood that has saved countless lives. Yep. It's blue. And
that was cool.
He thought it was cool. But here's the thing. I thought it was oh, okay, they're showing he's an expert with blood.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the blue blood was going to be a major plot device because, I guess it's a lot less messy. It's not as gory as red blood. Because he infects himself with this vampire virus to cure himself, and he gets cured, but he has to consume blood to survive, and he drinks the blue blood because he doesn't want to drink human blood in bags. I guess he doesn't want to drink blood donation bags. But even the blue blood, he says, is going to wear off, and he's not going to be able to survive, so he's decided to end himself. That plot point never went anywhere, actually. They never actually explained what happened with that.
Because there's many scenes like that. Even the second extra scene,
he's perfectly fine. Yeah, they don't explain what his solution actually was. Yeah. But let's put to the back burner because the second vampire rises, And it's the tradition. I mean, they stole one thing from Marvel. It's the same guy, the guy with your powers is your enemy, and you have to fight him. And they fight, and that's probably the most atrocious thing in this movie. You don't even know the fighting. You can't see it. Joey said it. There's just a bunch of smoke. Like he disappears from one. It's like Nightcrawler.
Yeah, that is exactly what it is. That's what bothered me about it. It looks like Nightcrawler fighting the entire time.
Yeah, so they're just there. There's smoke. They're supposed to be fast, I guess.
They're really strong. They're really strong.
They're strong, and when they fight, they like swing in the air, and I guess energy comes out of them, and it hits other people. It's really stupid, y'all.
They went through how many layers of concrete and went to the underground part of New York City?
Honestly, I don't even know how they got there. So here's the thing: when this movie started and they had his origin story, I was like, okay. I was watching it and I was like, all right, I'm not seeing where I hate it so much.
Same.
Then, as it went after his origin and they showed his stuff, I was like, okay, not a lot really happening here. I don't see a villain or a critical plot point happening, but okay. Then when the movie was towards its final act, I was like, you know what? I'm actually kind of bored.
Yeah. I checked my phone multiple times through this movie, and it's really sad.
Yeah, I think it's boring in an interesting way, because it's kind of like I said about Moonfell, where they give you so much information and they rush through it, but the movie still drags on. Yeah, this movie's less than 2 hours long, so I don't know. I'm not gonna continue. I mean, I love that you watched this review, but I'm sure you've watched other reviews. This movie wasn't that great. The thing I will say, like I'm going to keep saying, I think that it was bad. I think Venom was bad, though. And I think if you were to this movie takes place in Venom's world, by the way.
It has to.
Yeah. I know there was a lot of confusion about that. Oh, one thing I do want to say: if you went to this movie for the same reason a lot of people are going to watch a Doctor Strange movie just to see how it impacts other movies, you're going to be disappointed. The trailer for this movie straight up lied to you.
Oh, yeah.
There is no Spider-Man. I'm going to spoil that. There is no Spider-Man.
There are videos out explaining how the trailer, it did nothing. Everything that you see is kind of thrown out.
Yeah, it was like the director even came out and said, yeah, I didn't direct the trailer. I don't know why that was in there. So, yeah, Sony pretty much, it's that's kind of like false advertising.
It's money grabbing.
Yeah.
And they got it.
There's no Spider-Man. Do not expect to see him. I will tell you that.
I wanted to see Spider because the way things were going down, I'm like, and I said it, where is Spider-Man?
Yeah. It was.
Where the heck is this? Because you're in New York destroying New York City.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say was, if you were to order the movies in this Venom world, I'll say Venom was probably the best, which I didn't really love. Then these two, I think Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and Morbius, I think they're on the same level. I mean, I hate them both equally. I think they both have the same exact flaws and the same exact strengths, if you can call them that. So that's all I'm going to say about it, and I'm done. This movie is it's a 2 for me. What do you think?
I guess because I was so bored, I may have to agree with you, and I feel like we've been giving really low scores lately. So I think our Small Couch Reviews score is a 2.
2.
And that's really bad.
2 out of 5, guys. I do believe there's going to be... So there are after credit things. I won't spoil them. You should probably just watch them online, though, or read them about them online. Don't go to see this until it's on VOD. There's probably going to be more Morbius.
Especially with them making money.
Yeah.
If it didn't make money, I feel like we're never going to see Carnage again. They're not going to waste their time with that. But we will see Venom again. And then, we will see Morbius again because, we went and saw it.
They're building their universe.
We gave them money, and I was so excited about, hey, if Sony and Marvel can be friendly and Sony just makes the villain movies, I'll take it. Mm-hmm. But make good movies. Y'all just are like, hey, we own these characters. Let's just do some movies, guys.
I mean, there's I don't know who does this. I heard the guy who wrote this, the same guy who wrote that Gods of Egypt movie. I don't know why. Ask Marvel to write your movies.
Yeah. Well, why can't you? Why can't you split those funds?
I don't know.
You've
Man.
been so successful with Spider-Man.
This literally, and this is what I said about the first one. I mean, it felt like it should have come out in 2004.
Yeah.
And this movie, if this movie came out in 2004,
Let There Be Carnage was 94.
Yeah, Let There Be Carnage should have come out earlier. But yeah, this movie's not like early 2000s. I mean, again,
I apologize, y'all, because I'm so just like blah. After leaving that theater, I was just like, why?
Yeah. Yeah. At this point, I would encourage you to leave your comments down there. Let us know if you like the movie.
And I know there's a lot of people that are going to disagree. Because I've read some comments where most reviewers hate it. Most people just go and go see the movies and just like action. They liked it, and there wasn't even a lot of action in this.
Well, I was going to say that I think a lot of people would agree with this, but okay. Yeah, let us know what you think.
Please tell us down below.
I'm certain a lot more people will agree with us that this was not the one. But that's it, guys. We're done with this now. I was hoping to give this movie the same grace it gave us and not spend a lot of time talking about this, since it didn't spend a lot of time showing us that crap. All right, but until next time, y'all, we out.
Deuces.